Advanced robots at an Iranian tech expo turned out to be two people in bodysuits covered in ones and zeros. But first, government workers in China clocked in for work by wearing paper masks of their colleagues' faces. This is, believe it or bullshit. Several staff members at the Lijiayang Community Neighborhood Committee in Wenzhou, Zhejiang Province, were caught falsifying attendance records using facial recognition masks. According to local media, surveillance footage shows employees taking turns at the attendance machine. Each held a printed face mask. The system accepted every attempt. One person clocked in for multiple colleagues by simply swapping masks. The community's party secretary allegedly led the operation and was recorded using a face mask to check in. A camera positioned directly above the machine captured everything. Neighborhood committees are the lowest level of urban administration in China. The staff aren't civil servants. They don't receive government salaries. They receive allowances, which makes the public reaction more intense. A whistleblower named Lee reported the scheme to higher authorities in October. The government promised a response by December 31st. Social media erupted. One user wrote, "The staff should all be fired for corruption." Another pointed out, some people work more than 10 hours daily while these employees wouldn't work 8. The criticism focused on employees receiving financial compensation while actively avoiding the work that compensation was meant to cover. Here's how this actually went down. The employees printed photos of their coworkers' faces, cut them out, turned them into makeshift paper masks. The process was remarkably simple. One person would arrive at the office, put on a colleague's face, stand in front of the scanner, check in, remove that mask, put on another face, check in again. Repeat for as many absent colleagues as needed. The facial recognition system, designed to prevent exactly this kind of fraud, accepted each mask as legitimate. The scheme allowed staff to coordinate their absences. One person covered check-ins while others stayed home. They rotated who showed up. Everyone appeared present in the system. Nobody was actually doing the work. The vulnerability isn't new. A 2022 report by Legal Daily found that printed face masks costing as little as 10 to 40 yuan, roughly $1.40 to $5.60, could fool some facial recognition systems. The technology works on lower resolution machines. Higher-end systems can detect the difference between a three-dimensional face and a flat printed image. The Lijiang Community Committee apparently didn't invest in the higher-end option. The party secretary's decision to openly use a face mask despite the overhead camera suggests either remarkable confidence in the system's flaws or a complete lack of concern about getting caught. When investigators questioned the party secretary about the attendance irregularities, the official's responses were reportedly evasive, wouldn't fully cooperate, wouldn't answer questions directly, which prompted the formal investigation. The incident has reignited online debate about the reliability of facial recognition technology for government oversight and employee accountability. Many users question how printed masks could circumvent systems meant to verify identity. Others argued that strict clock-in requirements might not suit neighborhood committee work, which often involves visiting residents and handling issues outside the office. That argument gained limited traction. The masks suggest the staff weren't handling outside issues. They weren't coming to work at all. The scheme unraveled because someone noticed. Lee, the whistleblower, observed the pattern, reported it. Authorities are investigating. The staff involved face potential disciplinary action. The stolen time off remains unrecovered. Meanwhile, performers at a tech expo in Iran decided the best way to showcase advanced robotics was to put two people in costumes and hope nobody would notice. At the Kish Inix Tech Expo in November 2025, two actors in white bodysuits appeared on stage. The suits were covered in binary code ones and zeros printed across the fabric. They wore goggles, silver makeup. They moved with deliberate mechanical gestures. The female performer introduced herself as Miss Data. When expo goers asked questions, the actors responded with scripted technical jargon. Miss Data claimed to live in blockchain space. Both performers described themselves as a collection of data working together in a shared data code, capable of performing tasks related to artificial intelligence. The presentation was meant to suggest advanced robotics. It suggested makeup artists with limited budgets. Here's what gave them away. High-definition video footage from the event shows everything the performance was designed to hide. Skin texture, makeup lines, blinking, breathing, subtle facial expressions, acne scars. The actors moved like humans pretending to be robots, not like actual machines. Every gesture was slightly off, too fluid in some moments, too stiff in others. The uncanny valley worked in reverse. Instead of robots that looked almost human, These were humans who looked almost like robots. Almost. The videos went viral. Social media users across Iran and internationally turned the performance into a meme. Comments ranged from mockery to genuine confusion about how the organizers thought this would work. The Kish Tech Expo is an annual event on Kish Island, Iran. The island is a luxury resort destination. The expo's official website describes it as a platform for showcasing products and services, attracting investments, and developing commercial collaborations. Emerging technologies were supposedly the central focus this year. The robot performance was part of a cybersecurity booth's display. According to Iranian news outlet Zumit, Expo representatives later clarified that the actors were performing a short theatrical presentation. There was no official claim they were actual robots. The display was meant as engaging marketing to attract visitors. It succeeded in attracting attention. Not the kind the booth probably wanted. Hossein Afshin, Iran's senior official for science and technology, addressed the controversy directly. He told Zumit the actors weren't affiliated with the Iranian government or the official Expo organization. His statement was carefully worded. "I only know that one of the companies did this for its own advertising. Consequently, it has no objection, and it must definitely accept its responsibility." This was not something that the policymakers of the Innotek's Kish exhibition did, or it was not the exhibition's idea to use humans as robots. The phrasing suggests damage control. Distance the government from the incident. Make clear this was a private company's decision. Shift responsibility away from Expo leadership. The actors delivered their lines exactly as scripted. Technical terms without technical meaning. Miss Data and her counterpart spoke about data codes and artificial intelligence capabilities while standing perfectly still or moving with exaggerated robotic precision. The performance had one job: convince people they were watching advanced robotics. It failed at that job spectacularly, but it succeeded at another, generating massive online visibility for the expo. Videos circulated across X, Instagram, and other platforms. News outlets covered the story internationally. The Kish Tech Expo received more attention than it likely would have from an actual robotics demonstration. Whether that attention benefits future attendance remains to be seen. The incident joins a growing list of robot demonstrations that didn't quite land as intended. In mid-November, a Russian tech company's AI-powered robot tripped and fell flat on its face seconds into its grand debut. That failure was at least attempting actual robotics. The Iran Expo's approach was more fundamental. Skip the robots entirely, just put people in costumes, hope the lighting is dim enough. The theatrical stunt has become a talking point about the gap between marketing claims and technological reality. It also raises questions about what counts as innovation when the innovation is theatrical rather than technical. The performance is over, the videos remain. The actors have presumably returned to whatever they were doing before they became Miss Data and her binary-coded companion. The private company responsible for the booth has accepted responsibility, according to Afshin. What that responsibility looks like in practical terms is unclear. No reports indicate disciplinary action or consequences beyond online mockery. The expo continues. Other booths showcase their products. Some of those products were probably real. Tonight we've covered Chinese government employees who printed colleagues' faces to avoid work, and Iranian expo performers who pretended to be robots to attract investors. Both involved elaborate deception using surprisingly low-tech methods, paper masks, and costume fabric. Both were exposed by cameras capturing what they were trying to hide. Both raised the same question about modern technology. At what point does the effort required to fake something exceed the effort required to just do the thing properly? Could be surveillance systems that can't detect printed faces. Could be tech expos that substitute theater for actual robotics. Real examples only. Drop them in the comments. That's Believe It or Bullshit. Hit that like and subscribe button because who knows what other insane shit I'll dig up next time.